Hi everyone, my name is Erin Elizabeth Bamberg. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new here. Today we're talking about why something familiar doesn't mean it's the best thing for you. So as humans, we are creatures of habits. We crave things that are familiar. We crave what's predictable. We feel comfortable when we know how something is going to go, or know-ish how something is going to go, right? We don't like something totally out of control, completely surprise, total chaos, all of this, right? Just for our survival mechanisms that we still have in our animal brains, that's part of us, is we crave things that are familiar. If we know how it's going to play out, then it's just more preference for us. And what I want to say about this is we crave that even if we don't like it. Okay, so this is where it can get a little confusing, because this is like why, so many of us, just out of habit and out of these things of, okay, well, even if I, don't like arguing with this person, I know we're going to argue, and then I'm going to slam my door and they're going to slam their door, and then I know exactly what happens. So even if you don't like something, or if you go to this one restaurant, you're going to overeat and then you don't like it, right? So we have this thing where even if we don't like what's happening, at least we're familiar with it. And at least it's like our own mess and our own BS that we have to deal with, instead of this outside thing of, well, I don't know how that's going to go. So what if that's more unsafe or more uncomfortable than what I have right now and what I'm dealing with in this situation? So again, this is like, can seem counterintuitive, but just out of survival patterns of wanting to stay alive, of knowing, okay, at least I can predict this, and this thing happening, right? So being creatures of habit, it is more important for us in our animal brain and our, all these years of survival instincts that are programmed into us, that it's better for us for survival, not actually. We believe it's better for us if, okay, I know exactly how this is going to go, and I'm going to play out this pattern in this exact way, and I'm going to get this exact result. Again, even if I don't like it, at least I know what's coming, right? So once we understand that, we can understand that when we're changing a habit we have, a pattern we have, a relationship dynamic, a thought process, anything we want to change in our lives, doing something new is going to trigger fear and panic, even if it's just on the subconscious level, and we'll want to go back to what's familiar. So we have like our little comfort zone. Let's say it's like this, we have our comfort zone, and we know, when I do X, Y, or Z, this particular thing is going to happen. And so if I move out of that, again, it's like we have a little bit of stretch, which is just past our comfort zone. So that's like, maybe you normally walk a mile every day, but today I walked a mile and a half, right? So it's a little bit of a stretch. I can do it. It feels a little uncomfortable, but I can do it. And then going too far into our panic part beyond that would be something like, I walk a mile every day, but today I'm going to walk 10 miles, right? Okay, that could be a little too far of a stretch where it's like, okay, too much, too fast. I can't do that. Okay. So, but when we want to change our dynamics and do a little bit, if it's something a little bit that's unpredictable, a little bit that's not familiar, we can, we have a little bit of flex in our comfort zone. But when it gets too far, that's when we shut down. And that's when we can't change the pattern, the thought pattern, the habit, the thought process, anything, because it's so far away that we're like, oh, this isn't familiar enough. I don't feel safe enough. I don't feel comfortable enough. I don't have enough of my things to ground me. So I can't do it this way. And so going along with that same thought process, this is why baby steps of changing things last longer than like giant ones, right? So let's say you get really fed up with something, you're really tired, you want to change a habit, change how something's going. If you go from like where you are right now to doing something totally extreme, something totally different starting tomorrow, right? Unless there's like an extreme trauma that triggers this change that you have to make, or like a medicinal diagnosis, something like this, then okay, there are situations where this can happen. But in general, for humans, if we start here and we want to go all the way over here, it's not sustainable for us to make that change in that way. And so then we can be like, whoa, how did I get so far out of my, you ride the high, right? You're like, I'm doing this. My life is totally changing. I'm changing overnight. I'm ready to do all this, right? But so you ride that high. And then once you get to that point where it's like, okay, well, this is actually, you wake up and you're kind of like, this is actually uncomfortable. I don't feel totally safe. What's going on? All that. And so then we kind of go back right into our comfort zone, and we want to stay there even more because we're like, I took a step out, didn't work out, didn't like it. Don't want to try that again. Okay. So when we are changing our anything, just think about anything you want to change in your life, what's familiar for us will always call us back, because again, we'll know how it goes, even if we don't like it, even if it isn't a match for us, even if it doesn't serve us. Okay. And I've done this many times in my life, right? It's like you have this out of body experience where you're like, this is so stupid. Why am I still doing this? But the truth is, because again, it's familiar. I know what's going to happen. I know it's like going to be like this. It's like the fear of change or the fear of something happening that doesn't feel the best for us or can feel overwhelming is like more scary than us knowing something happening that we don't like of what's going on. So, when you are trying to change your habits, your thoughts, your whatever, just try to do it, focus on doing it one day at a time, one thing at a time, just once, baby steps. And then while you're doing it, ask yourself, if I'm uncomfortable, am I uncomfortable right now, but is this what I want to be doing? Right? Versus like, if I don't change, is this what I want to keep doing? Is this the pattern I want to keep having in my life? And so when you're making these habits, changing these things, just asking yourself, like, do I not like this actually? Is this actually not for me? Or am I just uncomfortable because this isn't familiar to me, because it's new? I'm making a new habit. I'm making a new pattern. I'm choosing to do something different that wasn't here before, right? And so it's important to remember when we change anything in our lives, again, be it a habit, a habit, a pattern, a relationship dynamic, a thought process, anything like that we want to change, we want to learn something new, we want to do something different, it will always feel uncomfortable until it's familiar and it's a habit to us. The habits we have right now only feel familiar to us and comfortable to us because we've practiced them so many times. Okay, so if you're feeling uncomfortable, just know that once you create this new habit, this new neural pathway in your mind, this new way of being and existing and doing things, of choosing something different enough times that you don't even think about it anymore, right? That means like, stick with it until it becomes a habit. Like, for example, brushing your teeth. There was a time we didn't brush our own teeth until we got old enough, and now it's a habit, right? So many things like, that we do all day that we don't even realize are our habits. The thoughts we think, we don't even realize is the thought we think because we've just done it so many times. Our habits are just our habits because we've done them over and over and over again. Okay. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, just remember that it doesn't mean it's the wrong choice. If something doesn't feel familiar, it doesn't mean you're choosing the wrong thing. It's just going to feel in the beginning when you're changing your habit, it's going to feel hard. It's going to feel annoying. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It could feel challenging. Doesn't have to, but it could be all those things, right? And so just remind yourself, like, again, are these feelings coming up because it's actually not a match for me, or am I just feeling uncomfortable because I'm being pushed out of my comfort zone and I have to choose to be, act, say, whatever, something that I haven't done before? And so again, this is a reminder that when you're changing things, it's about making sure you're doing it so you can get out and create a new comfort zone, a new habit for yourself, and trusting that the long-term results will be worth some of the discomfort you're going through right now. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all that's linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.